Hi, I'm Isaac with Bluestem Media. I'm going to be going over local SEO, who needs it, who doesn't need it, and some general considerations that you might be wanting to think about when looking to hire for SEO services or even do SEO on your own. And I'll be sharing my screen here and kind of looking at my monitors, and we'll go through some examples live and see if we can help bring some clarity. So Bluestem Media really started and had its roots in 1999. The owner of the company, Eric, had been building websites at that point back in the old days of the internet. And Bluestem Media was officially founded in 2013 and with a really heavy emphasis on building websites, especially websites that look nice and are pretty. And eventually in 2020, Bluestem Media really got into search engine optimization and made some investment and mostly in a lot of research, because that's really where trial and error and research, that's where a lot of the search engine optimization skills are developed. And really kind of the impetus for that is, again, trying to think about having a website that looks nice versus a website that actually brings traffic in and that actually has users clicking through, looking at all the pages. It's one thing to have a nice looking site. It's another thing to have a website that actually converts as well. So it's not a and or, it's you have to have both. In order to actually convert a user, usually your website has to look nice, has to be pretty, has to have buttons in the right spots, has to have photos. But on the other hand, if you just put up a one-page website and you don't put any thought into how to get that to rank in search engines, because that's where users are trying to solve their problems, that you as a business are trying to step in and be the solution, you're ultimately not going to make money from that. So it's really important to be able to drive traffic to a website, and that really is the core of how Bluestem Media founded the SEO wing of the company. So getting into what local SEO is really defined by the search engine identifying that the search that the user is doing is local, or they're looking for something within driving distance from them. So some examples of things that are local are dog walkers, coffee shops, auto repair places. Those are all, if they're looking for anything in that realm, that is considered a local search intent. So what is not considered a local search intent? Well, if they're looking for a specific piece of software, or they are looking up a news story. And I guess the news story has a little bit of a caveat there, because if it is in a local area, that would be a local search. But if it's a national topic, that's considered national search. And actually, before I get into the process, I'm going to show a live example here. We have a graphic that is available on our website here on the main local SEO page. If you go to bluestemmedia.com/SEO agency/local SEO services, there's a graphic available here that we put together really to just kind of help you identify when you enter in a search, you'll be able to know whether it's local or national. And so I'll go through this example really quick. And my apologies if this is redundant, because this is probably going to be embedded on the local SEO page. I'm sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. So this particular search here, we did a screen grab of a Google search, electricians, Pensacola, Florida, which is probably something that a user would search if they're looking for an electrician in their local area, or they might search electricians near me. In that case, Google would return a very similar result to this, because they're able to identify the location of that IP address or that iPhone or smartphone. So one of the first little clues that we find is what we call a 3-pack of Google business profiles. And this is a whole separate topic of discussion when it comes to local SEO. Your Google business profile is arguably one of the most important things that you can focus on as a business to actually get leads from local, because Google really likes to reserve this top spot for their business profiles. And you'll notice there is a sponsored post here. In this case, Peden Air Conditioning did pay for that spot. That's a completely separate discussion as far as LSAs, local service ads. And you can talk to us about that. We can go over that with you. But really, primarily today, we're talking about local organic results. So the rest of these results, JG Electric, Inc., James E. Simmons, and Scapen Electric all are on this for a variety of reasons. Some of that comes down to how many reviews they have, the address that they have, etc. But if you see these Google business profiles, there's a really good bet that the search intent is registering as local. Another little breadcrumb you can find is if you find local websites. So in this case, McLemore Electric Inc. In Pensacola. This is a local business with a small website, and they are ranking towards the top, which tells me that this is a local intent. Another thing you might find is third-party listing websites. Home Advisor, Yelp, etc. will usually combine a bunch of different business profiles. They'll pull together ratings and what hours they're open and what services they provide. They'll bundle it up onto a page, slap Pensacola, Florida on there, best of Pensacola, Florida, and that will rank in search. And again, there's reasons for that, but really today we're just going over things that you can identify to see if it is a local search. On the flip side, in this case, this search is accounting software for small business. You'll notice that there's blog posts, there's national brands that show up, there's even forum posts or discussions. In this case, Reddit is appearing in this search. And that is a good indicator that that is a national term and that really is operating under a separate set of considerations for SEO. And you can run both at the same time. You can have a local strategy and you can also have a national strategy. But usually most of the clients that we work with who are small businesses, plumbers, electricians, home inspectors, they are really looking to not necessarily rank for these national terms, but they really want to rank for terms that will drive leads and ultimately bring money for the business. Because when you're doing local SEO, you're really doing lead generation for small business. That's the core of what that job is. So you might be wondering, what is the process to do local SEO? And it's a good question. And I do have some information that we published actually on this page. And so if you go to our local SEO services page, we really do try to lay out in detail what our process looks like and what some of the considerations might be for your campaign, and also some of the sub-services that we provide in this area. So I'm gonna go ahead and find that section here. So under this area, we do list some of the individual services that we do provide when it comes to local SEO. And I'm gonna give you two things that are not listed on this page and then two things that are listed. So the first thing you really need to decide is on a budget. SEO takes money. SEO is really a lot like going to the gym, where you're gonna have to invest on the front end in order to see results in 6, 12, 18 months down the road. It's not gonna be overnight. And so trying to set away some money and really, being in it for the long haul is going to have the most outsized returns for your money. It's not like Google Ads where you can just turn it on and off. It really comes down to building the website architecture, crafting the content. There's an art and a science to that. And if you work with us at Bluestem, we'll help you with that. And we'll really help you develop a sitemap around what keywords you're trying to rank for, ultimately what business you're trying to generate. And we reverse engineer that. And that takes time, that takes resources, and ultimately time and resources means that you need money for that. I mentioned setting up proper website infrastructure. I think I allude to it on this page, but I might not mention it verbatim. Proper website architecture is probably one of the most important things that we do when it comes to local SEO. A lot of times if you work with a web designer, they are good at making a website look pretty, and they may be good at trying to help you figure out what pages that you need on the website, but they probably don't do any research on what types of website page structures are needed, what types of sitemaps, what types of sub pages are needed or category pages. So we help you really expand your website architecture to match the different search intents that Google has marked out as important in your local area, and will help you develop content to match that. Another big conversation, I think I touched on this earlier, is Google Business Profile Optimization. It's this point right here. The Google Business Profile, again, Google really reserves that top portion. Whenever they register a local search intent, they will reserve that top portion of the search for that Google 3-pack. And the way that you rank in that Google 3-pack, because there's probably more than 3 electricians in the Pensacola area, in our example, is they look at two main things. They want to look at reviews and the review sentiment, meaning if you get a bunch of 3-star reviews and your competitor has a bunch of 5-star reviews and a handful of 4-star reviews, Google is probably going to rank your competitor higher because the reviews are better. Because ultimately, Google is trying to provide the best service it can to its customer, which is the searcher. If the searcher is constantly getting garbage results and not happy with what they're finding, they are probably going to switch search engines or not use a search engine in general. So they really are trying to provide the best solution to their problem. Now, the second portion of that is going to be relevancy. And relevancy can have a lot of different factors, whether or not that's how close you are in geographical proximity to the searcher. So if they're looking for 24/7 HVAC, emergency HVAC services, if you are within a mile of them and your hours show that you are open 24 hours, there's a good chance that you'll show up in that search. But if you're 15 miles from them, there's a chance that you probably won't show up in that search because Google will be rewarding the HVAC technicians that are in that area and are open for 24 hours a day. And there's a lot of other factors that go into that, and there's a lot of nuance that's involved. So we'll help coach you through that. Things that are important. You can find information online too. I don't just want to make this a pitch for our services. You can find a lot of this stuff online. But for time and for expertise, I think it is good to pull on a professional and get some advice at the very least. So one of the other things that we also work with you on is reputation management, and this is highly associated with the Google business profiles as well. Your reputation really will drive results in search. Places like Yelp and Google and Facebook do not have an interest in serving up mediocrity. They don't want to rank a website that has very poor reviews, or they don't want to rank a profile that has very poor reviews. So we work with your team to develop some systems to generate reviews from people who are happy with your services. A lot of the times, as you probably know as a business owner or someone who works inside of a business, it's much easier to get a negative piece of feedback from a customer than it is to get a positive piece of feedback from a customer. And so really trying to incentivize those touch points in the sales process or in the interaction process where we can collect some of that good sentiment and try to express that in a digital mode, which would be on a review site like Google or Facebook or Yelp. So I also want to go over who local SEO does not work well for and who it does work well for. So businesses that don't do well with local SEO are going to be businesses that are exclusively selling an e-commerce product. If your website is primarily set up to sell widgets to national or global audiences, you probably don't need a landing page for your specific local area or local areas around the country. That's just really not how the algorithm is set up, and you're going to end up getting frustrated and spending a lot of time and resources building out your website to fit a model that really doesn't fit your business or your business needs. So if you have an e-commerce exclusive website, you probably don't need local SEO services. The other thing is businesses with a short time horizon. Again, SEO takes investment, it takes time. And so if you're really trying to look for quick results now and aren't willing to put in the investment to see growth later, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to do 3 months of spend. You're not going to see any results, or at least results that are really putting a lot of leads onto the table right now. And that's going to be frustrating and you're going to want to quit. So you really have to decide on probably 6 to 12 months of spend before you really make any brash decisions on what you want to be doing with your marketing budget. And again, if you aren't willing to be patient, SEO will feel like an eternity. Another type of business that local SEO does not work well for are businesses that don't run a good operation. Increasingly, SEO rewards businesses that run a good operation, or at least a good system. It used to be back in the day that if you had a whiz kid who was on your team and they had some knowledge of the algorithm, they could manipulate your website and get you to the top of the rankings, even if the actual core of your business was really sloppy, you have poor customer service, you don't answer the phone, and Google and other search engines have done a better job now than they have before of really trying to reward good in-person behavior and good business behavior. So an example that we have mentioned multiple times is reviews. they use reviews as a ranking factor when it comes to their business profiles. And the reason why they do that is a tangible way that they can see if you are providing good service as a business. They may even look on those profiles at the amount of phone calls that you answer, or they will send a test phone call. One of their Google reps will call, or they'll have an automated system to see if you're actually picking up the phone when you say that you are open during the hours that you are open. If you say you're open 24 hours a day and they ping you at 2 a.m. and no one answers the phone, or it seems like it's not set up for that, that's a problem. So again, we're wanting to really match what is going on in person to what is going on digitally, and trying to get those to mesh as much as possible. So really, if you know you run a good business and you know you run a good operation, you are a good candidate for SEO. If not, I would work on cleaning up the business portion, the core service of what you're providing as a business before you actually spend money on SEO, because your dollar is going to go a lot further if you run a good operation. So who does local SEO work well for? And this is just the flip side of the coin of what I was saying before, is really businesses that run a good, clean, solid operation, and they have a local intent. And I have a list here. I think I provided a list on the website too. Let's check that. Electricians, plumbers, accountants, financial advisors, basically anything that is really focused on core local services is a great candidate for local SEO. And this can vary based on the industry. Some industries are going to be more competitive than others, which is all the more reason to spend money on SEO. But if you're in an industry that you can tell is not very competitive, or in an industry that is sort of new in the service area, sometimes spending money on SEO can have significant outsized impact. And we've seen that with a couple of our clients. We have some clients where they're in a more competitive industry, and you can tell you really have to apply that spend. And we have other clients that you can tell even just with a minimal amount of effort, they've been able to see amazing results with SEO. And we can get into some of that in the case studies as well. And you also have to be a business that is not strapped for cash. If you're strapped for cash, you really should focus on working on that core of operation, storing away some money before you deploy it into your website or into search engine optimization. So I want to go over a case study, and we do publish case studies. I'm hoping to publish more as we go into next year. Into 2025. I've got 5 case studies on the site as of today, and I'm filming on December 10th, 2024. I'm hoping to get some more added to this page because really these results are helpful for you to analyze whether or not we're actually effective. There are a lot of SEO agencies that are out there. It's a very low bar for entry. Anyone who says that they do SEO can say that they are an SEO professional. And really, so what you're looking for to see who actually does provide good SEO services and who's actually the professionals in the industry will come down to who they work with and what kind of results that they drive. So it's been our goal to publish more information on case studies and the actual work that we're doing on the ground so that you can make a decision for your business whether or not you want to work with us. So this is a case study that's available again on our website, increase installation leads in targeted local markets. And this is a Florida-based client that we worked with. They sell generators and they sell generator services. So these are the big whole home generators that you install outside, and they have a automatic transfer switch that when the power goes out, it automatically takes the home from being on grid power to being on the generator power, just like that. And again, Florida, good market for this because there's hurricanes, there's storms, things that take out the power, and it gets hot and sticky. And if you don't have air conditioning for more than a couple hours, it gets really miserable in Florida. And so it really is a great product to sell in that area. And the thing that they were looking for is really ways to improve in their search engine results. They did have a website before they came to us. We took over the website rebuild. We built it from scratch, and then they wanted to work with us under an SEO subscription. So they pay us money monthly in order to gain SEO services or in exchange for SEO services. And we work with them every single month to do incremental improvements and to really focus on different areas of local SEO. And you can read this on your own too about some of the objectives that we have had during this campaign. But again, trying to show up higher for different searches like whole home generators near me, whole home generators specifically in Gulf Breeze or in Pensacola. That's the local area that they are involved in. So in this section, we talk about the strategy that we employed, and you can do some of that reading on your own. The things that we did really well, in my opinion, are going to be building a good website infrastructure. So they spent money on the design portion. They spent money on developing the color schemes and the images. And I think that we did a good job and we nailed the website on that. The other thing that we did well was internal linking. So this is where you link from one page to another within the website. And that actually has really, really strong SEO signals, because you're basically trying to communicate to Google what's important, what services have relationships to others on the site and within the business. And that's a useful tool. The other thing that we worked on, and this really came later on down the road, but is having the Google business profile segmented. So as a result of the SEO work that we did for this company, they actually were able to open up a completely separate branch in a new city that was about 2 hours to the west of them, and as a result of the SEO work. So we segmented the Google business profiles, and at that point we had one in our local Pensacola market, and then we have one in the Mobile market as well. And so those are operating separately, and it really has been a good strategy for us and has worked well to generate leads. And like I mentioned before, really local SEO depends on how good the client is as well, and how the business is run. And that's one thing that our client did, is they run a good operation, and they are very forward thinking, and they're willing to put in the investment and the time. And even doing things like getting out into the community, getting onto radio programs, getting onto podcasts, that is a huge help when it comes to local, because number one, you're getting that brand identity recognition, and you're getting some of that search volume lift. So when Google sees that your brand name is being searched 100 times more this month than it was last month, they are recognizing that you are an official business, and they are seeing that you have an authority in that area when it comes to whatever service that you're providing, in this case, generator repair or generator installation. And you also will sometimes get backlinks from the different things that you do in the community. So if you do volunteering, or you sponsor the local baseball team, or you go on the radio, they will usually provide a link back to your website, which is very good, because backlinks from a local website to your site passes what's called link equity, which is just a vote of confidence that Google is able to see and recognize. And if you stack enough of those up, you're able to rank more competitively for the searches that are what we call money searches, people that are looking to spend money and looking to buy. Those are competitive searches, and Google uses backlinks as one of the ranking metrics, or one of the metrics that they look at to see which page to rank at the top of search. And you can read under the results, I've got one image published here that's of a keyword measurement sheet. You'll be able to see the improvement here, and it might be hard to see on the video, so you might have to go to the web page yourself and zoom in on this. But we started with an average ranking of 21.44. So in Google, there's 100 positions available. Position number 1 is the best. That's what generates the most clicks. Position number 100 is at the very bottom. It generates nearly 0 clicks. If you have anything under probably 1,000 searches per month, no one's going to find you at the bottom of the web results. So we're optimizing for that number 1 position. In this case, the smaller the number, the better. And it is also corresponds with the color as well. The deeper the green, the closer to the top that term ranks. So on average, all of these keywords, which included things like generator installation in the location, I did blank this out, but I am letting you know where these locations are. Home generators in a location. We took an initial measurement before we really started the SEO process to see where they're at, and they did well on some of these, but there were some areas that they definitely could use improvement as well, especially in the new area. So we ranked 21.44. And as a result of the time and investment, we started back in March of 2023. By the end of the year, in December, right before Christmas, we were able to rank first page for every single one of these keywords for an average ranking of 2.24, which in our opinion is an excellent result. This is exactly what we want to see with our local SEO effort. It won't always be that quick or that easy, and not that this was easy, but this is rather quick when we're talking about from March to December to see these kinds of results. But this is a very good use case, or a very good case study, I should say. And really, as a result of being able to increase the average Google position, we were able to help generate more business, and as a result, be able to open a new location in a new market. Because really the landing page that we developed for the second location was built out before they actually had a physical location there. So we were able to punch into that market to help expand the core base of the business in that area, which helped to justify investing more money and resources on their end to build a second location. So we were really excited for them to see that, and we definitely wish them the best and hope that they can expand into another market. And we'd love to kind of help them in that season when they get there. So these are the kind of results that we really like to see. You can go on our website and look at more case studies. And again, I'm hoping to publish more of these as we go forward. So if this is interesting to you, if this sounds like it would be up your alley, feel free to give us a call or click get started on the website. If you just fill out the form, we can jump on a call, really low pressure. Really what this looks like is very similar to what this video is. We get on a Zoom call, we talk about what you're looking for, what some of your expectations are, what some of the problems might be that you're facing, and we just workshop it and we see if it's a good fit for you. If it's not a good fit, that's okay. It might be a good fit down the road, or it might be something where we give you a few pieces of advice and you're able to do some of this on your own. But really we found that a lot of people who get on a call with us and really workshop and find things that we can work on that would help to drive actual leads to the website, we find that they really enjoy working with us. And if you look at our reviews on Google, it will reflect that as well. So again, feel free to call us on our phone number on I think it's the footer of the website, or feel free to click the Get Started button here on the top and fill out your information, drop us a link, and let us know kind of what's going on your end of the world. So this has been Isaac with Bluestem Media. Thanks so much for watching this video, and we will talk to you soon.